Alright guys, so this week is fight week for UFC 287. Israel Adesanya rematching Alex Pereira for the middleweight title. This is the fourth time they're going to fight. This is a very interesting type of fight. It's all their fights have been pretty competitive, close. And, Pereira has won all the fights, but, it's still it's interesting because most people probably wouldn't say he's a better fighter out of the two, but he's always able to beat Adesanya. Adesanya has changed his game plans multiple times, obviously. Try different things out, but Pereira still finds a way to beat him in every fight. And in this fight, I do think Pereira should be the favorite because of how all the other fights have gone, but Adesanya can still win this fight. And say we're going to talk about how he can win this fight. And the first most important thing to this fight is Adesanya cannot be chopped against the fence. He's got to move. He's got to shoot for takedowns. He can't just go for that clinch he tried to go for. And he cannot wait for Pereira to throw first. When Adesanya is chopped against the fence to escape, he's got to even if it's a feint, just throw something out there to make Pereira kind of stop, get ready to defend. And then you move in that split second when Pereira's just thinking you're going to throw something. So that's the first key. Another thing is when Pereira's going against the cage, you got to go for a takedowns, go under him. That's very dangerous because Pereira's got his knees. But that's why it's important that Adesanya mixes up his defense when his back is against the fence. So, sometimes go for that body lock, slip a jab, and then crash into him and grab him for a body lock. Kind of like how Brandon Moreno did that versus Davison Figueiredo. And obviously sometimes go for the legs as well. Wait for Pereira to throw a hook, duck under him while his hips are right there, and then just go for a takedown. And another key factor is Adesanya's got to be constantly moving in this fight, whether it's his head, his legs. He's got to move his body because obviously, once you stay stationary or back up, it's going to give Pereira more space. So he's got to be moving more laterally around the cage, not moving backwards, but moving laterally. He cannot get his behind this black line, the black line where that kind of surrounds that monster logo. He's got to stay in there. That as soon as he gets behind that line, that's the danger zone. So he's got to stay in the middle of the octagon against Pereira because he was having success. Another thing is against Pereira that he should do is implement more linear kicks. He was throwing a lot of round kicks, leg kicks to leg that were getting checked. His body kicks were effective, so I would say keep those. Don't go for head kicks. It seems like he has trouble landing those on Pereira. Pereira's his same height and size. It's obviously harder to kick at someone who's at the same height or taller than you versus someone who's much shorter than you. So I would say don't go for as many round head kicks, but go for front head kicks. Those front kicks to the head, in my opinion, are open for Pereira. Same way the right hand is open. He can easily just throw that kick right up there, and he can set it up with some front kicks to the body. Obviously, those are going to be a great weapon in this fight. I think he needs to go to that. Another thing that he needs to do is just go for the grappling more. In the last fight, Adesanya went for grappling, and when he did, he had great success with it. Pereira wasn't able to get back up when they were just on the ground. He was he had really good wrist control. He was landing some good shots. Obviously, Pereira said that those shots weren't damaging, but I think Adesanya was just trying to wear on him. But if he really tries to if he really goes for it multiple times and just puts some more sting in those shots, maybe put 50% into the shots, and it's a bunch of them, Pereira's gonna start feeling them, and it's also gonna just slow him down more. He's obviously gonna be trying to get back up, but he's gonna get punched in the face. It's also gonna disrupt his breathing, and go for body shots on the ground too, like, and elbows mainly. He that's one thing he didn't do. He was landing some good like hooks on the ground, but he wasn't throwing those elbows. If he did, he could have hurt Pereira even more. Like, the thing is, just damage him. Think of this fight like as a marathon. Like, you're investing early on, so that later in the fight, he's gonna be softened up and there for the taking. And I really hope Adesanya has worked a lot on his cardio in this fight. He already showed that he had better cardio in the last fight, but he needs to really, really make Pereira work harder and use more energy. And by doing that, you need a lot of cardio for yourself already. Not only cardio for striking, but cardio for grappling, and mainly cardio for MMA, because you're gonna be mixing it up. Also, and not the last key, is Adesanya needs to work Pereira's body. He's got some shots, some good kicks to the body, but like, sometimes, like, when Pereira throws a shot, Adesanya would like move his head, but he wouldn't like make him pay. So he needs to make him pay with body shots. So dig some hooks in, they go for knees when they're in the clinch, and body kicks when they're at range.